Alright, another series problem. I'm just gonna right off rip use ratio test because we're looking for the interval of convergence of x. So there's a negative here with the 2, but absolute value takes it out, so I'll just, whoa, hair. That's just regular 2. That's a 2. Okay. N plus 1s multiplied by the reciprocal, or it's not n plus 1s. I'll just leave the absolute values up, even though I took away the negative, since the x can be, like, it can make it go negative. Okay, and canceling, okay? 2n, 2n. xn, xn. I think that's it. These are n's, by the way. Yeah. Just don't x up here since the 1. Then we got square root n over square root n plus 1. And, well, we could take the x out, actually. Or, right, this is an x. Yeah, we could actually drop the absolute value for in here, but put it out here. Since n is from 1 to infinity, so these n's are never going to make a negative thing. Okay, and that's part of the equation, that x absolute value. In this, we could sort of simplify that. Yeah, this is what I was trying to go for. This, yeah. Okay. This is what that simplifies to. And if you, like, okay, the 1 doesn't matter. If we're going to infinity, the 1 has no purpose at all. So you could kind of just, like, not look at that. And n divided by n is 1. So this entire thing is 1. And, well, there's no n's left, so it just could be 1 times that. Which equals, well, that. Okay. Alright, wait, I had to pause the video because I missed this 2 here. There's a 2 since I crossed out the 2n, but there's a plus 1. So there's another 2. I'll just, like, walk it along the path. It'll be out here. 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 And that's times. Okay, there we go. Now this is right. Because I have the answer. And it did not look right where I was going, so I had to pause. Okay, and using the ratio test, this is gonna have to be less than 1. So if we divide by 2, it's less than 1/2. Like divided by 2 on both sides. And then we take out the absolute value. And this is the interval of convergence. But we gotta test endpoints, right? I need another paper. All right. So first, let's test a negative 1/2. By doing it, we just plug it in for x and see if it comes out good, like convergent, like it doesn't blow up to infinity. Okay, so we're plugging in -1/2 for x in the starting equation. All right, and these negatives will cancel, leave. Wait, let me just write it out just to make sure. So it'd be -1 if you bring each one out. -1n times -1n is that. Okay. That's a 1/2 n. Wait, that my handwriting sucks. That's a -1 to the 2n times 2 to the n times 1/2 to the n. Okay. All over square root n, and then that is always going to be positive since it'll be 2. Like you plug in n as 1, it'll be positive, and as 2, it'll be positive 1. Like it's always going to be positive 1. So yeah, that just kind of fades off into the distance, and we're left with that's a 1/2 n, by the way, 1/2 to the power n. And then we could just kind of combine the 2 and the 1/2 under the same little roof. And this is going to equal 1, and then 1 to the power n. And, well, that's always going to be 1. Like, no matter what n you plug in, it's going to be 1, so we just take out the n. Alright, and then we have this, and then there's a p-series test where it's kind of like that. And that's kind of the form we're in if p is 1/2. And if p, the test says that if p is equal to, or, what is it, equal to, or, less than 1, then the series diverges. And 1/2 is equal to or less than 1. It's less than 1. So this one diverges. So, moral of the story, this one my bad, there's like coins under this. Okay. This one is like an open parentheses. It's not one of the, if you can see the vision. It's not one of the, like, this is not part of the interval of convergence. It's the endpoint based off all the proof. All right, flip it over. Flip it over again. So now we're going to test 1/2 into the first equation. Okay, same thing as before. We're going to combine these two under the same roof. And I'll just bring out the negative because that's annoying. No, I won't bring it out. I'll keep it in. And this is going to equal the series, or the sum, or whatever this is called, to the -1 to the power n over square root n. Okay, I'm gonna make that more legible. Okay, this is what it comes out to if you plug in 1/2. And I forgot by what test, but this converges. because it's alternating, unlike the last one where upside down, but it's not negative, like it is positive here. The negative just, it makes it work. Forgot my what test, but I'm not gonna explain it. It works. That part converges. So this is the interval of convergence.